The replays you're about to see is from the tournament that I participated in, known as Back to Basics from the Frosty crew, and about to see it right about now. So let's see what pops up.
Prepare for battle. Yeah, I'm aware. Well, I got the picture. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Okay, so this matchup in particular is pretty much in my favor because all I have to do, honestly, is just chip away, avoid doing unsafe stuff. Q, I don't have too much of a problem with, except there was one certain player I went up against recently on online encounters on Fightcade. It's not the same Q that you're seeing on the screen, but on the previous video, is that he was able to actually read me really well, parry my whole sequence, and blow me up with super. The only difference is that this character, player should I say, likes to diversify quite a bit. And
Are you ready? Go.
the only reason that he got me that round, honestly, is I'm doing a lot of unsafe stuff and not being cautious, and not reading the room. So that's why that's happening. I think I'll do this in the future. Honestly, I like the concept that I'm going with from now on, doing my gameplays and just put like my own cam and just like, you know, do it like this because I feel comfortable. I don't care like if people see me and all that. I don't mind. That I shouldn't have done. There it is. That was unsafe. I shouldn't have done that. I should have confirmed at that point, but I thought he was gonna push a button. Put it this way, if I had not paid attention, that round he would have got a win on me, on match, and that would have been one in his favor. So. I like it because it makes me an honest individual just doing this. I don't like, you know, hiding in the shadows and be like, It's kind of like a director's commentary what I'm doing, which is pretty cool. Posture's like a bit off, but I like doing that a lot. Go for grab and the tick grab. Tatsus. I'm notorious for doing one habit that I need to figure out. I don't know if I should keep that habit going, is the fireball thing. Which from a distance, like, I'll keep the opponent at bay with a fireball. It's kind of like my loading screen. And make the opponent guess the next move I'm gonna do, and then I just go win afterwards. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a habit I have, honestly. If I do the red fireball, I mostly do the triple, the heavy strength fireball, which accounts for 3 hits. And that one is taxing for frames on me because it leaves me vulnerable and I get punished. Like, let's say a Shoto comes in, jump in, and does like a full punish on me. So like, I might have to switch up strength, do like double or single or whatever, just switch it up. It's okay if I say it's just like brain processing. That's fine. I like doing that too. Jump empty grab at times. They keep the opponent guessing. I will put them in grab loops and then I'll do Tatsu afterwards. But I need to switch that. Besides doing Tatsu, I need to do something else. Something else. Besides that, that was sick. I do that sometimes as well. I do like super activate.
Are you ready?
Or whatever. Parry game in that department I lack. If when I parry, it's like super instinct. I'm not that good at reading the opponent's moves because everybody is different in terms of what they input, unless it's pretty much choreographed and you know what they're doing. Like the pros have it more choreographed because they're gonna do hit confirms and all that. I like doing that too. Tatsu into whatever hit. It could range from any starter I can do. It could be a low sweep, it could be from a dive kick, it could be anything. But I've been like changing it up so that works in my favor. So So right now, I'm just gonna close this one right here. You're gonna hear that's annoying. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so that was the first one. Easily my favorite will win. What I'm about to show you is the winner of the tournament that won grand finals, and to my surprise, he exceeded expectations. I thought, man, I'm a loser, like I suck. And no, take a peep at this. This is the guy that won grand finals, and I don't like to name drop, but one of my friends in the bracket is Pomegranate X. He's also an Akuma main. Well, posture's like, ooh. Get off. So, the story of the grand finals of this was he was dominating. Like the first half, because he was sent to losers. I don't know exactly who sent this Mexican Elena player to losers. And just winded him down until all the way it got to grand finals where my friend Palm was going up against him. Crazily enough, this guy dominated like the first 3 matches, just 3-0 and sweep. And then Palm was like, in his mind, he's like, damn, I'm gonna deal with this guy. This guy is like nuts. And here's where it gets even crazier. So one habit that I have, as I said, is I look at my VODs when I see my opponents. And his previous VODs, this Mexican player, he plays 12. So like, I'm like, okay, he's ranked B, I'm ranked C. So I'm expecting 12 to come along and play, right? Well, that's not the case. It did not happen like that. It was Elena. And unfortunately, I do very bad against Elenas. A lot of people typically do because it's not a matchup you commonly see. That's my secondary, by the way. I decided to use Yang, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna do records and all that. I like in the die pick department with Yang, and it's something that I want to polish with time. You know, like develop like a sort of an encyclopedia with characters eventually. Look at that, very. So my one strength is this: if I'm not comboing, I'm gonna have really good neutral. Like sometimes I can guess right and push the right buttons, but if the opponent has a good read on me, I get wrecked easily all day. Like I was telling one of my friends during the tournament, like, wow, so this is who won the tournament. And I went up against this guy. It was nothing too crazy because he just does solid reads and all that. If you choreograph things, this Elena will know and you'll get washed pretty easily. And I got washed pretty fast because I was doing a lot of unsafe stuff versus doing choreographed stuff. Sorry again. And that's the story of that. Now the next match, dear God, this was bad. Was a D rank. And I don't want to rank myself in terms of like the way I play or anything like that. But I could honestly do better. It's just I felt like this matchup I was playing too safe and unsafe at times because I was feeling myself. I'm actually glad I'm doing this because there's constructive criticism on my end, and it also lets the opponents see, not opponents, whoever watches this, lets me know, hey, like, you should do this, you should do that, blah, blah. Don't get discouraged by rank, guys. Like, you could play however you want, and if it works in your favor, just go for it. That's all I gotta say. Be it if you're an E, a D, a C, whatever, doesn't matter. Just play how you gotta play. Eventually I'll probably get to B rank, but that'll take some time. I just need to hone my craft. Already have a regimen, how to do things. So just have to bear with me. Any other player by now would have confirmed super ready, and I'm holding 2 bars of meter. Not spending my cash, which I should. Completely unsafe. Should have done that. See, like I was mentioning, the fireball game, keep the opponent zoned out, chip away, go through with that. Sean is not that big of an issue, but people who are good with Sean's, they typically use them as their training bot in a sense, into like help them hit confirm and do like crazy stuff. So basically, if you master Sean in this game, you could pretty much master any character because he has all the fundamentals this game requires. See, there's so much more I could have done, but it's like I'm doing rush down, but just doing random stuff, just going at him. Shouldn't have done that. I should have just teleported and then wait, not like squander any button hoping that he would press something else. Okay.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
The common thing I do, dive kick into sweep. Like if they try to push a button, I try to force them. Creates good distance, but you gotta be careful because too much frames. Good players can parry that. Got him at that point. That was good on my end. Alright, so the next video, this one's interesting. The next video is where I really choked, and I fight this person a lot, in real life and personally. He knows how I play, and there's times, it's always back and forth, like me and him. When we play, there's times I dominate him. Most of the time, he's dominating. He's actually my mentor at this point. Very good sequence. I need to like stop letting him do that. Yeah. Okay. Could have punished that if I kept calm, but I walked away from that. That's my problem. I'm being too hesitant. See that? I shouldn't have done that. If I'm gonna spend the cash, I gotta make it legit. I have to commit and do a confirm and actually get something in there. That's a bad habit I have, and I do that a lot. I do air fireball into nothing. It's just, I don't confirm it, I just do it off of instinct thinking the opponent's gonna jump, do it. I might as well do it when they're airborne. That's the only time I'm gonna do it. You'll be surprised, there's times they're on the ground and I landed on them and they get hit with it. But this is not one of the cases. Throw loop. And I do plenty of throw loops versus him. Like crazy. Like it's throw loop into Tatsu or whatever. Like I have to switch it up. Look at that. I could have confirmed something in the corner and I allow him breathing room. You can't. When you have the corner, do not allow your opponent to breathe. Apply pressure and react calmly. That's what you need to do, and that's what I have to start doing now. I can't back off and say, hey, I'm gonna throw a fireball, back off, and I'm gonna see what you're gonna do when you wake up. You shouldn't do that. You have to maintain priority in the corner, and that's another bad habit that I do.
Now, find a new rival. Welcome to the world of the Street Fighter.
Really, nobody told me that, but I noticed that myself, like through seeing this.
Are you ready? Go.
Okay. Also, no parries whatsoever on my end. If it's a fireball, sure. If it's a button he presses, you do not see me parry. Like, I have bad reactions. That's expected. That's the safest thing if he knows I'm gonna jump in. Like, there's nothing else I can do. I typically do that a lot. Amazing. Okay, caught him with that. I was gonna Tatsu, heavy Tatsu again. That's not gonna work. Here's a real one. Watch this. Amazing. Yeah, he trains that to a T. Alright guys, so that was it. That's the video. Take care guys. See you in the next one.